Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're unboxing Huawei's MateBook X Pro. So if you follow my reviews at all, you know I was a big fan of the original MateBook X. So this has all those features and then more, right? So the MateBook X, it had the 7th generation U series processors. This now has the 8th generation chips. It comes in Core i5 and i7 flavors. Although the original MateBook X has been refreshed with those new processors. It was kind of a midstream refresh. So it also includes Dolby Atmos, so the sound is going to be great. The fingerprint reader and the power button, and then the screen's a little bigger. So let's get this thing open, and we'll talk more about it. There's a little tab down here, and here we have it. It comes with the all-metal body that we find in Huawei devices. All right. Also has NVIDIA graphics. This one has 2 gigabyte NVIDIA GeForce MX 150. So that's better than integrated graphics, right? It's not top end graphics, but again, I mean, you look at how thin this device is, so it's pretty cool that it has dedicated graphics at all. They added a USB Type A port as well, which was not present on the MateBook X. Over here, we have 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports and the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Okay, so let's see what else is in the box before we move on to the device. All right, over here we're going to find a power cable. They also added a touchscreen on this model, by the way. By the way, I'm spoiling it a little too much before we actually turn on the laptop. So here's our power brick, USB Type-C. You can charge your phone with this. You can charge a laptop with it. It's pretty great. It adapts to different power levels depending on the device that you're trying to charge. Obviously, you don't want to put a 65-watt charger on a laptop. This is the Mate Dock 2.0, which Huawei introduced with the original MateBook X. And honestly, I'm more of a fan of the original dock, but it has the USB Type-A over here, Type-C, HDMI, and that's fine. The original one had wired internet and a couple other things. I think it had a second USB Type-A port. We have a Type-C to Type-C charger, and both of those Thunderbolt 3 ports should be good for charging. All right, so let's open this up. Like I said, 14-inch display this time around, rather than 13.3 inches like we had in the last model. We have a privacy camera. So we're going to set this up. Privacy camera is right between the F6 and F7 keys, and it's hidden. You pop it up just like that. Okay, no, we don't want to hear Cortana's narration there. But that's pretty cool. So the privacy cameras are becoming a lot more popular with different devices these days. Lenovo's doing it in a lot of ThinkPads. They're calling it ThinkShutter. And what it is, just a physical guard, where a lot of people would put maybe a piece of tape over their webcam. You don't have to do that anymore. So what Huawei did was they put it in a key, and now it just pops up. And that also allows for really slim bezels. So this is as far as the device goes back. So I'm just going to show it like that. All right, so we should be all set up over here. So, like I said, there's a fingerprint reader in the power button. Huawei makes phenomenal fingerprint readers, and you won't believe it till you see it, because I saw this first on the Huawei P10, and when I first used that phone, I had to start using other fingers to try and see if it was actually scanning my finger, because it was that fast and accurate, and it works. So what's really cool about this, though, and this I originally found in the MateBook X, is that when you power the device on, you just press the power button and it just logs you in, rather than having to put your finger on the fingerprint reader again after you reach the lock screen. So that's one of my favorite features. Normally I criticize a device when it doesn't have a IR camera for facial recognition, because to me that's the most natural way of using a laptop. You're sitting in front of it, it sees you and it logs you in. But this fingerprint reader is so good that I think it's okay like this. The display is 3x2, 3000 by 2000 resolution. So that's going to be really nice. And again, that's going to be powered by that dedicated graphics. And the MX150 graphics are only available in the i7 model. If you get the i5 model, you're just going to have the integrated UHD graphics 620 that Intel makes. The trackpad we can see is pretty large. That's one point that Huawei made, is that the oversized trackpad. Full-size keyboard, which is really nice, although the keys do feel kind of shallow, although it's a very thin device, so that's kind of one of those sacrifices that gets made to make it thin. And it has a 57 watt-hour battery, so you should get the power that you need out of this device. And I'm not sure. I have seen some really thin laptops that use that have that full depth keyboard, but then it sacrifices battery life. So I'm not sure which one that I really prefer. Like I said, this is as far as the screen goes back, which I'm not thrilled about. That varies with all clamshell laptops, but obviously it's not a convertible, which means no pen support, which is fine for a device like this. And that's about all there is right now. I mean, going back, webcam was one of the key features, is that they have that privacy guard and the physical camera button. But again, I mean, the webcam is down here, so I don't know how you're going to feel about that. And it really depends on how much you use your webcam. And I've had this discussion with Dell, because Dell puts their webcams right below the screen right over here. And I asked them about that. Why don't you put it up top? And they asked me, well, how often do you use your webcam? And I said, pretty much never. They said, all right then, because for Dell and now Huawei, it's more important to have an immersive bezel-less or nearly bezel-less experience than to have a webcam in the proper position, because most people aren't using them. So in a pinch, it's there. In most cases, you probably won't need it. If you are the type of person that frequently uses your webcam, you might want to look at something else. See, in Dell's case, they offer their business laptops with webcams on the top, because obviously there's more video chat going on and stuff like that. We have some Huawei software here, PC Manager. But Huawei doesn't make a business laptop. In fact, they're keeping their laptop lines pretty limited in the United States. And because right now all they have is the MateBook X, the MateBook D, which is the larger one, 15.6-inch display, the MateBook E, which is the tablet with a Y series processor, and now the MateBook X Pro. So really, they're just kind of getting into Windows 10, I guess. So hardware check, driver management. This is where you can check for drivers, so they're not coming through Windows Update anymore. And that's really all. This is a signature PC. Dolby Atmos, which, again, sounds great. I tried this on the MateBook X, and it sounds phenomenal. But, yeah, there's nothing extra here that we don't want. There's no McAfee antivirus or anything like that. So, well, I mean, all the stuff that we don't want, Candy Crush Saga, Candy Crush Soda Saga, that's all put there by Microsoft. So we can't blame Huawei for that. And this stuff's all easy to uninstall. All right, this is gone, and I'll go through all that. I'll get rid of all the tiles on the start menu. And before anybody asks, the wallpaper is mine. It is not, Huawei didn't put that there. I like the XP wallpaper. I think it's pleasant. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. This is the MateBook X Pro. And it comes in two configurations, Core i5 with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, and Core i7 with 16 gigs of storage and 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. There is a fan in this model. The vents are on the sides, as we can see here. All right, but that's about it. There was no fan in the MateBook X, and they obviously had to add it to add more RAM, to add the dedicated GPU. So, yeah, there's that. I can't wait to review this thing. I'll have a review up in probably about a month. And that's about it. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.